Hello guys, Creator438 here. This is just a quick little video of my Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Actually, I have 3. But today, I'm going to be showing you my main deck. So, let's begin with the monsters. My signature card is Ocean Drag Lord Neo Daedalus. If some of you don't know what he does, I'll get into his ability later. One of my second strongest monsters is Levia Dragon Daedalus. And I am aware that it's pronounced Levia Dragon, not Levia Dragon, but I say Levia Dragon. And I have Mobius the Frost Monarch. Basically what he does is he can destroy 2 spell or trap cards when he's tributed successfully. Or when he's tribute summoned successfully. Let me just get a little closer. Okay, there we go. And then I have Terra King Salmon. He doesn't have an ability, but he gets the job done sometimes. Then I have my I think it's a Holo Orca Mecha Fortress of Darkness. Maybe. But anyway, I'll get into his ability right here. As you can see, I have Torpedo Fish. His ability is when Umi's on the field. You guys might not be able to see it, but when Umi is on the field, Torpedo Fish is unaffected by spell cards. Basically, but then Orca Mega Fortress of Darkness's ability, it revolves around 2 monsters called Torpedo Fish and one monster I don't have called Cannonball Spear Shellfish. Basically, Orca Mega Fortress of Darkness can destroy a monster if you tribute a Torpedo Fish that you have. Sorry, voice crack. And if you tribute a Cannonball Spear Shellfish, however, then you can destroy a spell or trap card that your opponent controls. I have Deep Sea Warrior. He's basically Torpedo Fish, except he's got 5 stars. Then I have Amphibious Boogeroth, which basically, if Umi's on the field, he can attack you. He can attack your opponent's life points directly. Then I have Mermaid Knight, which basically, if Umi's on the field, then she can attack twice in the same battle phase. I have Island Turtle, and Kabuzals, and Red Archery Girl. And I have Mother Grizzly, and Mother Grizzly's ability basically is when she's destroyed by a result of battle, I can special summon a single water monster with attack of 1500 or less from my graveyard. Or no, not graveyard, but deck. But only if she's destroyed by battle. Then I have a Jewel Barnacle, which can attack your opponent's life points directly, and that increases by 1,000 attack points. Then I have Crystal Beast Emerald Tortoise. I don't really have all the Crystal Beasts. This isn't really a Crystal Beast deck, but yeah, I have him. I don't know. Anyway, my next card is Gore Turtle of Illusion. Basically, he can negate spell and trap cards by your opponent. Don't work on him. Next, I have Barrier Statue of the Torrent, which makes it so only water monsters can be special summoned. Then I have probably one of the most noobiest cards in the world, because I'm not that good of a duelist, Maneater Bug. Destroys 1 monster on the field, regardless of position. And then I have another Maneater Bug. He has the same thing. Then I have Kuriboh. You guys should all know what he does if you watch the Yu-Gi-Oh series. Then I have Great White. He has no ability. And Aquamador. And Guardian Chaos. Basically, she can only be normal summoned, flip summoned, or special summoned when there's a monster on my side of the field with Rod of Silence cast, and only then can she be special summoned or normal summoned or flip summoned. but she can't be attacked or basically she can't be destroyed by my opponent's monsters, and it's unaffected by spell cards. So she basically can't die unless but if she unfortunately if the monster with Guardian with Radison's cast is destroyed, then she's destroyed too. So that's her weakness. My next card is Yugioh. My next card is Unshaven Angler. I usually use him to get out one of my larger star monsters, which would be Lavia Dragon Daedalus and Ocean Dragon or Neo Daedalus. I used to have a Dark Magician in this deck, but basically the way that dual monsters works in my houses, like overpowered rare cards, is that we can only have 6 rare cards per deck. Actually, 6 rare cards in our main deck. That's the limit. I was exceeding the limit, so I had to put back my Dark Magician, which was one of my rare cards. Then I have Creeping Doom Mantle right here. Oh yeah, I forgot to explain Unshaven Angler's ability. Basically, tribute summoning a water. If you use him for tribute summoning a water monster, he counts 2 tributes. Only if you're summoning a water monster, though. Anyway, Creeping Doom Mantle. Basically, when he's normal summoned, traps and spells don't work on him. Oh wait, no, it's actually just traps, not spells. And I have Kaiju Seahorse. He's basically Unshaven Angler, but except for light monsters. He's a sea serpent, though. And I have Gold Flying Fish. So basically, I was in a duel with this thing, and I used this ability wrong. You're not supposed to tribute him. You're supposed to tribute another fish type monster. Did I use this ability wrong? I don't remember. And I have Witch of the Black Forest. I use this primarily for bring Lavia Dragon Daedalus to my hand. Because basically Witch of the Black Forest, what she does is she brings basically when she's sent to the graveyard, you can bring a monster with 1500 defense or less from your deck to your hand. This video is very trippy. Then I have a secret rare Evigishki Marrow, guys. Sorry, I'm just looking at the rare. It is an XYZ, and actually, if you remember, this is actually the same Evigishki Marrow Geist that I pulled from the Yugioh booster pack opening. Next, I have another Drill Barnacle, and then I have 7 colored fish, and that's all for monsters. Now let's go on to magic and spell cards. What is a magic card? Basically a spell card, I don't know. My first spell card, or magic card, it's a field spell. It's Umi. Basically what it does is it increases the attack of sea serpent, fish, sea serpent, thunder, and aqua type monsters by 200 points, and downgrades machine and power type monsters by 200 points. Don't know why it increases the attack of thunder type monsters. Then I have a legendary ocean here. Basically, it's treated as Umi, except it raises the attack of water type monsters, or water attribute monsters, because water is an attribute. So like Aquamador, for example, you can see here that, well, you can't really see, but he's a spellcaster, and that his attack and defense don't get raised by Umi. They can only be raised by a legendary ocean. and the same with Yugioh. And never mind. I also have Umiruka, so that also raises Akumador's attack points, but unfortunately it decreases defense points. Sorry for the random cut there, guys. But it doesn't matter anymore because I'm finally back. So actually something I forgot to mention about a legendary ocean. Not only does it increase water monsters' attack and defense points by 200, but the good thing about it is not only is it treated as Umi, but also it downgrades the level of all water attribute monsters on the field. This potentially lets me summon Terra King Salmon, Orca Mega Fortress of Darkness, Deep Sea Warrior, and Yugioh without making tributes. So yeah. Also, it takes 1 star off of Levy a Dragon Daedalus. So I only have to sacrifice one. So I only have to tribute 1 monster for him. Oh yeah, also something I forgot to mention about Umi and Legendary Ocean. Both Levy Dragon Daedalus and both Ocean Dragon Lord Neo Daedalus, their abilities both revolve around Umi or a Legendary Ocean. Basically, Daedalus, all he does is you just tribute Umi to destroy all the monsters on the field except him. But what Ocean Dragon Lord Neo Daedalus does is you can send a legendary you can either send Umi or a Legendary Ocean to the graveyard to destroy all monsters on the field and it's not all monsters, it's all cards. Basically, he lets you destroy all cards on the field and in both players' hands except for him. Oh yeah, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but Ocean Dragon Lord Neo Daedalus' ability is suppressed because there is a limited edition of Neo Daedalus that makes it so you have to sacrifice Levy Dragon Daedalus in order to get him out. So this one is better because you can Monster Reborn him, and not only that, but you don't have to get out Levy Dragon Daedalus in order to do it. You can get him out before. So yeah. Oh yeah, I also forgot, I don't really use on Shaven Angler and Levy Dragon Daedalus. I usually use them on Ocean Dragon and Neo Daedalus. So yeah. Anyway, back to Magic and Spell cards. Next I have Pot of Greed. Basically, you should know what it does. You just draw 2 cards from your deck. I have one D spell. It's a magic card version. But we've established this thing in my house that even though D-Spell may be a magic card version, you can it only works for spell cards. Cause my brother said it was too confusing. And I guess I can kind of agree, but I don't know. My next card is a magic card version of Rush Recklessly. I have a spell card, Megamorph, which I've used to win a couple duels. Then I have Salvage, which oh yeah, I forgot to explain the effect of Rush Recklessly. Basically, you increase one monster's attack by 700 points during the turn it's activated, but it only works that turn. And I also forgot to explain Megamorph's ability or effect. Basically, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, then you can equip it. Then the monster equips this card, doubles his attack points. But if you have more life points than your opponent, their base attack gets halved. so that kind of sucks. But I make sure to be cautious and only use it on really strong monsters. Like my Orca. My Orca Mega Fortress of Darkness. And my next card is Salvage. Basically, you can add 2 water monsters with attack 1500 or less from your deck. No, from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah. Then I have 3 Dark Holes. You destroy all monsters on the field. Then I have Remove Trap, which you can select 1 trap card and you can destroy. Then I have Aqua. I have Aqua Jet, which you can in which you select 1 Fish, Sea Serpent, or Aqua type monster I control. You control, and then it gains 1000 attack for the turn. I'm not sure if that's actually permanent, but yeah. My next card is Big Wave, Small Wave. Now this card this card can be strategically well used for a water deck. Basically, what it does is equal to the amount of water monsters. Basically, you play this card, but make sure you play it when you have water monsters on the field, because then all those monsters go to the graveyard. Say you have like 5 water monsters, they go to the graveyard. The catch is though that if you do this, you can special summon monsters from your. You can special summon the same amount of water monsters from your hand, which is very good. I would probably use it if I had them all in my hand. I would send all my water monsters to the graveyard. Oh yeah, and if there's like a different attribute monster, then it's not destroyed. It only affects water monsters. So I would summon like Orca Mega Fortress of Darkness, Terra King Salmon, Mobius the Frost Monarch, Levy Dragon Daedalus, and Ocean Dragon Lord Neo Daedalus. And maybe Yugioh. Depends. And I have Swords of Revealing Light. You guys should all know what that does. Wouldn't be surprised if you didn't. Well, I mean, if you watch the Yu-Gi-Oh series, that is. I have Guardian. I have Rod of Silence KS, which I used to get Guardian KS. I have 2 DN Catalakir Masters, so they give you basically 1000 life points when you use them. And I have 4 Monster Reborns, 2 Magic Card Monster Reborns. These are the ones, and 2 Spell Card Visions. I really should put one of these in my other decks. But yeah, basically you're allowed to bring 1 monster back from the graveyard. My next card is a magic version of Black Pendant. Basically, when a monster equipped with it, when it's sent to the graveyard, your opponent loses 500 life points. But when your monster is equipped with it, they gain 500 attack points. Now for the trap cards. And I only actually have 7, so this will go quick. My first trap card is Robin Goblin. Basically, it's a continuous trap card that basically makes it so each time one of your monsters inflicts damage to your opponent's life points, you randomly discard 1 card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. There's a card like it called Robin Zombie. I have that in my Spellcaster deck, which is my secondary deck. It's bad because too many cards. But anyway, yeah, I'll get into. I'm going to post a video about my Spellcaster deck and my other deck that I have, my secondary deck and third deck, and my secondary and thirdendary deck. I don't know if that's actually what it's called, like thirdendary. I don't think it is. But yeah, I'll get into it when I post that video. Then I have 1 trap hole. So basically, when your monster normal summoned or flip summons a monster with attack 1000 points or more, you can destroy the monster. And I have Enchanted Javelin. I've used this for very OP matters. Basically, when your opponent attacks, you can increase your life points equal to the monster's attack points. If you have this card, never use it when you attack when your opponent attacks directly, because you'll just not lose life points if you play this card that turn. However, I do recommend playing it if your opponent destroys one of your monsters and both of those monsters have the same attack points, because you won't lose any life points and you'll gain. As a matter of fact, it will gain life points. My next trap card is Gift of the Mystical Elf. So basically, when it's activated, you gain 300 life points for every monster on the field. My next card is Magic Jammer, which is a trap counter that you basically negate the effect of a magic card. Oh yeah, but you gotta discard one card from your hand to negate the activation of a magic card. Remember, it has to be, but just remember, it has to be upon activation. My next card is Zero Gravity. So basically, it changed the battle positions of all face-up monsters on the field. I would recommend only using this when your opponent attacks. So like then you basically switch them into defense mode, and their attack gets negated. And my last card on my deck is Trap Jammer. It's basically Magic Jammer, but you don't discard one card from your hand. Wait a minute. That's something I did not know. You can only activate Trap Jammer during the battle phase. Well, I guess that's it. This is my water deck. My signature card is Yugioh. I feel very sorry for anyone that has the limited edition Yugioh. It's basically the same thing, but you have to treat. I didn't really explain this, but the limited edition Yugioh, it's basically the same thing except you have to tribute Olivia Dragon Didos. Oh yeah, and just so you guys know, I am aware that it's not pronounced Daedalus, it's actually pronounced Daedalus. Like, because that's how they pronounce it in the show. I just like Daedalus. I mean Daedalus. That doesn't really sound right to me. Plus I've always been used to saying Daedalus. So yeah. I just want to thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys in another one of my videos.